Hi everybody, it's Maddie here. Today I just wanted to make a video for you guys about the items that I feel like are really helpful to have when you are running your live. So I have my computer next to me here that I'm gonna read from and put it in my lap. But things that I thought of were first and foremost, not really, but kind of, your measuring tape. Everyone needs a measuring tape. If you don't have one, you really need to have one if you're going to be selling on Whatnot, because people are wanting to make sure things fit and you don't have time to put in the listing all the details that you normally would. So make sure you have a measuring tape handy. Sometimes you can go ahead and enter all the dimensions and everything like that in ahead of time, but you know, sometimes you might have an item that you want to run last minute and you just want to make sure that you can measure that for someone if they need measurements. Poly mailers. So I like to use just like generic, I get these cute poly mailers off of Amazon, but I'm sure there's a cheaper way to do it. That's just what I do. So poly mailers, because if you're mailing things that are first class or priority, you can mail them in poly mailers as long as they're like clothing. I wouldn't put shoes in poly mailers, but yeah, so you can do that. And then also you're gonna need, if you are selling any bundles, you can do two things. You can either cut up two poly mailers and like tape them next to each other. The way I do it is I line them up next to each other, I slice down the center, and then I tape them together so that it's just like one big wide poly mailer. That's one way to ship out clothing bundles if they don't fit in just one poly mailer. Otherwise, you can get a generic just brown box that's smaller, or you can order the free boxes from the post office. You just have to be careful that you don't get any of the flat rate shipping boxes, because unlike Poshmark, you cannot use those. You have to use the priority mailing boxes. So the shoe box, the $10.95 box, and then there's one that's a large mailing box. It's actually slightly larger than the flat rate large box. All three of those are fine as far as shipping goes. And there is one, if you're shipping like smaller items, there is this really tiny, like small, I want to say it's like 5 by 6. It's like I think it's like a square. It's like this big. There's a little box that's fine for priority, but you just have to make sure that you have all of those things in stock, just so that you know, okay, I can ship out all my first class stuff in some just brown little boxes if they have to be in a box, or if it's clothing, you can almost like 9 times out of 10, if it's a first class label, it's going to be article of clothing, you can almost always put it in a poly mailer. Sometimes I'll even cut up some cardboard and like put it in the poly mailer, like inside of it, to help protect it. So another thing that I like to use is I have a thermal label printer. If you're new to reselling, you do not absolutely have to have a thermal printer, but it is cheaper in the long run to do that versus buying ink, because after you purchase it, you never buy ink again. You only buy labels. So you can either have printer, paper, and ink, which I'm telling you, it will cost you more to actually buy ink on a regular basis with how much shipping you'll be doing with Whatnot. But I use the Rollo printer, not the wireless, but just the first one they came out with. I really like it. The label sizes are 4 by 6, and you do need a lot of thermal labels if you're going to be shipping with Whatnot, just like you would need a lot of ink and all that. And you can also, when you ship out the list, like their whole order list and everything, you can set it to print out on the labels so that you're never having to use ink, really. All right. Next thing is not necessary, but I do it anyway. I made a little business card. On the back, it has all of my info, which I also put at the end of my YouTube videos. And then I have a second option, which is this like, thank you for shopping with me, and a little note from me and the back. I like to do this one in Poshmark sales, because people don't thrift on Whatnot. People thrift a lot for like a living. Another thing is a clothing rack. So I'm gonna move the camera. I got this clothing rack that's behind me. I got that from Big Lots. I know. And it was only like $30. So it's the perfect size for me for doing about 50 items or so. I fit 60 on there last time, and then I had no problem using it, so it was totally fine. Another thing is hangers. I really like using velvet hangers because it doesn't snag on the clothing and the clothing stays on there a lot better. I know everyone has their own opinions on this, but I just like that the top part of the hanger moves like this. Well, I don't know. I can do this. Like the top of the hanger moves. I mean, I feel like everyone knows this, but figured I'd show you just in case. So another thing people like to use, which I do not use yet, but I think if I was doing a big blowout crazy sale of like 200 items, I probably would, only just to be extra sure that all my things are organized really well. But people like to get those number tags. So it would be a number tag that sits, I'm going to pull this back down again. It would be a number tag that sits on the actual hanger itself, and you can either make them yourself or you can buy them online on eBay on Amazon. Another thing is, keeping your area, like while you're live, this isn't really like an item or a product, but either having a bin or an area that's organized where you just set all of your sold listings. So anything that you are selling throughout the live, somewhere that you can set it separate from everything else, just so you don't accidentally get it lost in the shuffle of things, because sometimes you might have a couple of items that don't sell at the end of the night. So you just want to keep all that separate, in my opinion. Another thing you want is your phone and that is to run the live with. You can run the live solely with just your phone, but it's a lot better if you can have your phone set up on a tripod, which is another item that would be nice to have. So if you have your phone set up on a tripod, then you can not have to touch your phone much, and you can just use your computer to select all of the items during the live and use your computer essentially as the remote for the whole show. And it actually automatically works in the app. Everything works really seamlessly. You just have to make sure that you stream from your phone first and foremost. Then when you open your computer, all you really have to do is mute either mute your computer or mute the actual live on the computer, which is like a little speaker icon. Another thing that you would need is to make sure that your phone is plugged in and your computer is plugged in, just because you don't want anything shutting down on you in the middle of your live. So a nice charger and one that's long enough to reach whatever outlet you're near. Lighting. So lighting is not, I mean, it's important to have clear lighting so that people see the items well, but you don't need to spend a bunch of money on lighting. I have a $30 ring light that I use right now, and it's not the most amazing one, but it works. You can also use window lighting, which definitely is nice only if you know that the day is a consistent lighting and there's not clouds in the sky moving in and out constantly, but you could use window light if it's during the daytime. Another thing that I like to use with my packaging materials is I go to the Dollar Tree and I buy tissue paper. I know I'm not the only one, but I like to grab the like sparkly tissue paper. So I grab the sparkly and the regular. Another thing that I like to use, which I will grab for you right now to show you, is I use this JBL speaker. And I know there's a lot of different companies, but, whoops, sorry. This company, my foot is like on the thing that my thing's on air. This company is great and their speakers work awesome. You don't have to have a speaker that's that nice, but it's like $100 speaker or something. But it is nice to have, and it sounds better than the laptop speakers. Another thing is a playlist for the speaker. So I like to just go on Apple Music and choose some playlist that's already made, but you can make your own, and a lot of people do. A tripod or a phone stand or even a ring light that has a phone stand on it is perfect and fine. Another thing is water. Make sure you're drinking water because you get like parched as you're speaking so much. So have water on hand. Make sure you've had a snack beforehand. And then, oh yeah, you're gonna need, an option is you can have a hook. Like some people like to hang it on the wall, the item, when they're running it. That way they don't have to be holding it the whole time. However, this does work for like graphic shirts and everything so that people get a nice look at it. But I sell a lot of items that are like dresses with sleeves that have details and different things. So I like to hold the item on the hanger. Sometimes I even take the item off and like put it on my body. Oh yeah, at the end, I'm going to make a whole other video on shipping, but it's really, really helpful if you have some sort of like IKEA bags or large bags to fit all of your packages in, because you will sell more items than you're probably used to shipping. And it is very, very helpful to have like large bags that are reusable that you can use to move packages around in, but no rush on getting those. When you need them, you will finally get them and be like, wow, I actually can use this now. So, and yeah, I think that's all I can think of today, but I just wanted to add that info in. I know everybody is excited about Whatnot and is all kind of like busy doing their first lives and everything. And I've had a lot of people ask me even, do I need a bunch of stuff? A lot of this is just suggestion. You don't really have to have. I actually, just to give you an example, I have a friend that I made briefly. I say he's my friend, but I met him in Florida, and he actually is one of the first people that told me about Whatnot. And he literally, oh my gosh, he sells like graphic shirts and all sorts of collectible stuff. I was in one of his lives. It was like a pop-up live, and he didn't have anything other than his phone for the live, like anything. Everything was like strewn about the room. He was like walking around with his phone. I didn't even see his face really. He was just like walking around with his phone. Hey, look at this shirt that I've got. Hey, look at this shirt that I've got. Started digging through his like bins of clothes and stuff. And people actually follow him and love him and were going crazy, like bidding on stuff. And he sold a bunch of stuff for like in between like $20 to $50. So it is kind of funny because it's just like, yeah, you can do all this work and make it look so pretty and nice, but then there's some people out there that are just like, well, here you go, and everyone loves it too. So it's all kind of up to you and what works for you. But anyway, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the bell notification so you know when I make more videos like this, and subscribe to my channel, all the YouTube-y stuff. If you have any questions, please comment below. Yeah, I might send some links down in the description below, maybe put some down there to the boxes for the USPS and a couple other things. So thank you for watching. Bye.